What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I am your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Scripted. We are here to recap a return victory for the Chicago Bulls, 115-110 over the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we do that, be sure you're going to ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports, literature, and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at OnTapSportsNet. Follow my dude Goose at Bulls Scripted and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. Goose, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. 8 days without Chicago Bulls basketball was absolutely fucking brutal on my end. I missed you, my man. We were going to do a show the other day, and then it just kind of got away from us. And we were like, we have to make the return when the Bulls make their return. So it's good to see you, and fuck, man, we got to win. How are you?
I am feeling fantastic. I have like this very odd rush of adrenaline after that fourth quarter. The whole game was a fucking slugfest, but that fourth quarter, man, this ain't DeMar on the Raptors. This is Chicago DeMar, and he deboed the shit out of LeBron because he can actually make free throws.
Fucking Debo! No, dude, I was just so surprised by like how this game went, because like they came out after having this long layoff and they were physical. They're hitting their shots. They're taking care of the ball. They're forcing the Lakers into fucking terrible turnovers. And I'm like, oh, man. Then I came back down to reality. And what I mean by that is like the second half rolls around. It's like, we're Chicago. We're not going to keep this up the whole time. We gotta make it interesting. We got to let them back in. But, man, it was good to see something that I was really stoked about, dude. And he only ends the game with 19 points tonight. And I know that's pretty good. But Lonzo Ball, he had 15 in the first half, and then it just kind of got away with him. Speak on his start real quick, because I'm telling you, man, when he has confidence in his offensive game, like what he's doing shooting the rock, I feel like he could be the third option. He's quick. He's got a good release on his jump shot. The mid-range is still questionable. But what did you think about him starting the game off tonight?
Yeah, he definitely seems to favor glass in the mid-range, which is fun when it goes in, and Tim Duncan and yay. But
Tim Duncan and yay. Okay. Okay, sorry. Tim Duncan and yay. I'm sorry, please proceed.
Yeah, see, now you made me lose my train of thought too. But no, I mean, that's kind of been the book on Lonzo since he came out of UCLA, is when he is aggressive offensively, he's an all-star caliber player, because he does bring it on both ends of the floor. Unfortunately, you only get it in spurts, and we'll take it, because on this team with Zach obviously out tonight in protocol for a third fucking time, didn't even know that was possible. Like, wow. Shit, but no, Lonzo is an all-star caliber player when he's aggressive. So it's great to have that. It's also somewhat beneficial to have the fact that he doesn't need to be that to be beneficial for this team. So,
yeah, and I think he's definitely proven that. I mean, like even at the end when the shot wasn't falling for him anymore, couple defensive plays huge to close this game out, fighting for a rebound, keeping an offensive rebound alive, causing a turnover in like the last minute and 10 seconds for the Lakers, which really hurt them. Lonzo just does a ton of stuff. I in the beginning of the game, offensively, he had it working, and I was just super, super happy with that. And same with Vooch, who was doing very well. I'm going to use my famous efficiency word. He was doing that. And the second half kind of rolled around it, and it slowed down for him a little bit. I will say the Bulls did a pretty good job containing LeBron James. I don't care that LeBron's in year 19. I don't care that he's closing in on 40 years old. LeBron James is still a bad motherfucker, and it sucks because I hate him. Not as a person. I think he, guy started a school and shit for people. Like, hey, listen, I'm not going to hate on the guy. Like, I'm sure he's a good dude in real life. But on the basketball court, can't stand him. Bulls held him to, 1 for 6 at one point from the field, 1 for 7. They were doing a good job on him. I think it was more so he wasn't able to find or locate his shot, but still they were doing good switching on him. They were making it physical for him. LeBron's not getting the calls that he is accustomed to throughout his career, but I thought they did a good job. But then he woke up in the second half. I mean, he goes 11 for 21 on the night, 31 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers. Almost fouled out of this game, Goose. That place would have fucking erupted. Tell me if I'm wrong. If LeBron James fouled out,
I mean, he already gave all of the United Center free Portillo's hot dogs by missing 2 free throws in a row, and I was cracking up because before that, Russ went to the line back-to-back times, missed the first free throw, and they have these long pauses in between, and he's scratching his face, and I'm like, he's thinking about blowing it for a free hot dog.
That's fucking wild. Hey, man.
But no, we definitely got the, traditional legendary LeBron in the second half of this game. Felt a lot more threatened with him in this game as opposed to our first matchup with him when he did not play. Obviously, AD wasn't there tonight, but
no, he's been trash. It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I'm never going to say those words.
I just did. We don't have to see them for the rest of the year, so I could talk my shit now.
Okay, fair enough. We see them again. It's in the championship, so we'll eat shit we'll eat the shit on that one if it comes around to it. But no, I mean, LeBron made this a game in the second half, and DeMar DeRozan went toe to toe with him. And like I said to start the show, DeMar made his free throws. LeBron did not. That was kind of the defining factor of this game at the end there.
Yeah, I definitely want to bring this up too before before we move on into DeMar's performance, because we're going to really get to that. This game was close. It was obviously a very, very close game. But Carmelo Anthony, I know you kind of mentioned before we came on air, you want to talk a little bit about that. I mean, Carmelo Anthony tonight too. It's just when these guys come to the fucking UC, they just want to have these good games. And
it was so weird seeing this roster. Isaiah Thomas fucking starting the basketball.
Hey, I'm happy for him.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah.
And he almost killed us. He was torching us a little bit there for a while.
He hit a couple threes on us. I mean, he cooled down considerably, thank God. But he did not. I'll tell you what, dude. The fact that let's just talk hoop for a minute and talk shot before we get back in the game. The fact that he was not in the league, I think is pretty shitty. I know he had that hip injury, but he is better than, a lot of fucking players out there, Goose. I mean, seriously, there's a spot for him. If he is willing to take a vet minimum to fucking play, you're insane not to sign him. I'm sorry. I really do. I think you are.
The play-in now. So more teams need deep rosters. There should be more teams playing to be in a position to get in the playoffs, which should open more roster spots for guys like him, who are seasoned, who know how to play, who you can see give you 20 points off the bench. You kind of expect him to give up 15, on a good night on the opposite end too, because he's 5'8". But scoring is the name of the game in this league, and he can give you that, and he knows how to handle the moment, and we saw that tonight. And so does fucking Carmelo Anthony, because what you were hinting at was those back-to-back threes in the fourth that gave the Lakers the lead there for a little bit to almost close this game out. I was feeling guilty because obviously I was hurting. They were daggers. They didn't feel good. But at the same time, it was like there were daggers of love because the nostalgia was just like flying through me, man. LeBron James to Carmelo Anthony on back-to-back kickouts for 3. Like, whoever would have thought that was going to happen? And you have to soak that in that moment, even when it's against your team in a crucial moment that, that could hurt you because it's epic.
The last of a dying breed of the 2003 NBA draft. I mean, it's just, I'll tell you what, man, as much as obviously I'm like you said, did not like those shots going in. One thing that impresses the shit out of me is like fucking Carmelo Anthony has finally, I feel like he did in Portland a little bit too, but I finally feel like he accepted what he is now and who he is now. And I feel like he's kind of flourishing in that role where he might get another 2 to 3 years in this fucking NBA. I mean, he's got it in him. He's just a stretch big who just comes in. I mean, he's not a huge guy, 6'8", whatever, but he comes in off the bench, shoots some fucking threes. He's not going to really give you much defensively, but he knows his role. He knows where he needs to be and what he needs to do to try to help the team win. And
it's funny that you mentioned that because defensively, outside of when it comes time to rebound the ball and you hear, I got that shit. Get out of here.
Carlos Boozer flashbacks. Yeah. Grab that shit, Joe.
I feel like he's toned it down since it's LeBron behind him. Like, he knows he can't be like, get the fuck out of here. You can't do that one anymore. Clear the fuck out. Those can't be yelled at LeBron because he's LeBron. And like you said, I think with LeBron at this stage of his career, for Carmelo, that is, LeBron can put him in his place. And, he's in a place, and that place is good for him and it's good for the team. So he probably can't squeeze out a couple more years.
Just look at the roster up and down. It just makes me laugh. Like Rajon Rondo, Trevor Ariza, Carmelo, and like you said, Isaiah Thomas, Wayne Ellington. I remember when Wayne Ellington was linked to the Bulls at one time because he's a 3-point sniper and he would have worked out well over here. They're just obviously DeAndre Jordan, a guy who who's very effective for the Clippers for some years. It's really funny. I do find it very funny that DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard on the same roster again. I just find that I just find it hilarious.
Putting the roster together.
It's just fucking so dumb to me. It's so redundant. I don't.
Were you an all-star? Yeah, come on over.
Man, just come on over. I loved when Chuck was like, "These guys are too old." Just Charles Barkley's just talking shit, and like, Chuck, you're 97 years old. What are you talking shit for? But all right, back into the damn game here. I know we've been gone for a while. We missed all of you. We missed each other here talking Bulls basketball. 34 minutes for our guy tonight. Our guy being DeMar DeRozan. He returns from the COVID protocol list. He had said that he didn't feel like he had anything. The worst symptom, he said, was boredom out of all of this, which is great that it did not affect him in a negative way where he, stamina loss or weight loss or whatever. It's good that DeMar stayed healthy throughout the whole thing. It was that's called the asymptomatic one, I believe, is what he was, right? Because that's no symptoms.
Yes.
Right. So he was able to be.
You were looking for.
Yes, I didn't want to butcher the word. I'm very ignorant when it comes to anything going on in the world because I'm so, locked in on sports all the time. Anyway, he comes out, has a great game in his first game back. This is his 8th 30-point performance of the year. 38 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, 4 boards. He did have 3 turnovers, and he was 11 for 24 from the field. He did not take any 3-pointers, and he went a staggering 16 for 17 from the free throw line. Holy shit. What a first game back for DeMar DeRozan.
No, I mean, I'm going to continue to eat crow on being skeptical for the
You don't have to do it every time he does good. You don't have to do that to yourself. You do it every time. Like, guys, I said sorry a million times, but
he just keeps dropping 30. He just went head to head with LeBron fucking James. I don't care what year it was. He just went head to head. The walking dictionary. But he went head to head with a legend tonight that used to give him nightmares. And obviously it's not the playoffs. We'll see if he can keep the juice flowing when it comes to there, because everybody on Twitter will tell you that, well, that's great. Wait to the playoffs. Still DeMar's kryptonite. I don't think that's going to be the case. But tonight was not a playoff game, and we got Tequila and it was marvelous to watch. I don't know. Like, this guy has me lost for words when it comes to just clutch. The fourth quarter,
How many have in four? Was it 19, right? 19 in fourth quarter?
For like the previous 4 seasons, I didn't want anybody taking a mid-range shot, and now it's like it's my comfort zone. It's my happy place. So it's weird.
When he rises up, dude, I like I told you, we said this on the show. When he rises up for a mid-range shot, I've never felt so comfortable watching it. I'm not kidding. I mean, besides when Jimmy was doing it, and I'm being honest with you, when Jimmy was doing it, like that's when and maybe 2011 Derrick Rose MVP year, because he loved to dribble up, the floor, and he'd pull up, just inside the 3-point line. D Rose lived to do that in his MVP year. He's like, I've never felt so confident in a player with Jimmy, watching DeMar do what he does. It's just unbelievable. The player that the Chicago Bulls signed it's a completely different DeMar DeRozan. This isn't, like you said, it's not Toronto. It's not fucking San Antonio. I mean, it's a hybrid of both of those. He still shows the burst. He still shows the explosiveness when he can actually finish at the rim. He's showing the playmaking that he showed in San Antonio that we broke down when we signed him here. He's showing the IQ, and then he's like rolled that all together into the same fucking guy here in Chicago. And it's been awesome to watch. This guy has literally willed us to victory, and he's not breaking a sweat doing it. And it's awesome to see.
What was Caruso's stat line on that?
Caruso had a really great game tonight. So he had 17 on 6 of 11 shooting, 3 for 5 from downtown, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He had 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3. He did have 3 turnovers tonight. He had a pretty good game. I mean, Vooch, Ball, and Caruso, 19, 19, 17. And then you got 38 out of DeMar DeRozan, who, with the 19-point performance in the fourth quarter, was either 17 or 19 points in the fourth quarter that led us to victory. One thing I do have to bitch about real quick, and I'm going to give him dap on the dunk in transition, Kobe White. I know he is just back from the COVID protocol along with Javonte Green. Javonte looked good. He looked like Javonte. He had, a few blunders there, but he gave us good defense and he did what he could. But Kobe White, 2 for 7, Goose, 5 points, 2 assists, a board, a steal.
Turnovers?
He had 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 turnover. It's just the shot's not falling. The confidence in the shot is not there. And this is something that we've talked about that like helps bring the Bulls to the next level when they're healthy, right? Is having a guy like Kobe who can come off the bench and score in bunches. That's been our biggest problem this year, is not being able to score off the bench. We had 13 points off the bench tonight. Carmelo himself had 21 off the bench for the Lakers. So
it's really hard for me to get on Kobe right now between the injury and then COVID after just getting back and maybe finding the slightest bit of footing. He also has to reinvent himself. He went from being the second option, being a go-to guy, somebody that was going to get 15-plus shots a night because the team needed it. They don't need it anymore. That role's been taken by DeMar DeRozan, and that's only going to be, overthrown by Zach when he's healthy. So Kobe's adjusting to not only just getting in playing shape, finding himself in that factor, but finding his new fit on this team. And it is that spark plug, that scorer off the bench, but it's got to be in a lot different fashion than it used to be. It's got to come a lot quicker. He has to figure out how to turn the switch on and off without getting all the shot attempts. And right now, he just can't find it. And he's not getting the touches. And I think he's getting in his own head while he's on the floor as well, because you can see him standing there like, I need the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And DeMar's dancing and doing his thing. And that's what we want as fans, but it's not what Kobe wants. And that's kind of a mental struggle right now.
Yeah, I don't want to hate on him too bad. Like you said, that's not my intentions here. It's just I'm waiting for it to kind of click for him. Like that's where I want it to, because I mean, again, that it just unlocks another tier of what the Bulls could really do this season if they have a consistent scorer off the bench. When Kobe's not scoring, he does not add much. I mean, he had a couple good defensive situations tonight, but it's just not consistent enough for that to be an actual thing. So hopefully he can figure out how to score and get back to doing what Kobe White does. Just to run down a couple of the team stats. Bulls shoot 10 for 30 from downtown for 33% tonight. 12 for 34 from the Lakers. The Lakers shot 51% from the field. God damn, they shot 51% from the field tonight.
Had to, man. They had 20-plus turnovers.
Yeah. No, you're right. Jesus. Yeah, they had 20 turnovers. Wow. But anyway, 51% from the Lakers from the field, 43% for the Bulls tonight, 25 for 31 from the free throw line for the Bulls for 80%, 14 for 22 from the free throw line for the Lakers, 63%. Bulls were out rebounded by 3, 46-43, out assisted 25-20. Bulls had 10 steals. The Lakers had 8 blocks to the Bulls 3. This is the big discrepancy. This is where everything changes. The Bulls had 29 total points off of 20 Laker turnovers. Lakers only had 5 points off of 10 Bulls turnovers. 56 points in the paint for the Lakers to the Bulls, 42. Largest lead was 10 for the Bulls. So that was the team stats. And fuck yeah. I mean, they came out after being gone since last Saturday, and they played a team that's kind of reeling right now. And the Lakers having a kind of a rough time, and they took advantage, and thankfully they came out with a win. Closer than we wanted it to be, for sure. But the Bulls moved to 18-10, and the Lakers moved to 16-15.
Hey, any team with LeBron James is not struggling enough for me to be give them an excuse, especially when we're running out of replacement squad ourselves. Couple interesting moments from Alfonso McKinney, good and bad tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Still stand by my statement from the last podcast. Give him a roster spot over Matt Thomas.
I don't want to fucking see. I don't want to see Matt Thomas again. And I'm not trying to hate on Matt Thomas for like being a marksman or a 3-point shooter. He doesn't want to do that when he's out on the court. He's playing fucking 2K out there. Him putting the ball on the floor and trying to do these fucking dribble moves. That's what lost me.
He's working on other badges, man.
Yeah, he's looking. It looks like when you do the My Player scan from your phone, it's like who I am without a beard, and like just trying to ball out there. And like, no, I can't do that. I know I'm limited. Okay, I don't want to see you doing that shit ever again. Just want to throw that out there real quick. But one more thing we have to talk about in this game. DJJ returned tonight too, man. Yeah. And he left with a hammy injury. I do not like to see that because he was really finding a rhythm before this fucking COVID thing happened and before he got shut down. And I really don't want to see him miss a lot of time. Hopefully it's just like a little tweak like Caruso's was and he can come back quick. But I do not want to see him out for a while, man.
Especially because he ramped up a lot quicker than, a lot of other players have to play tonight, to be there for his teammates. And unfortunately, he leaves with a hamstring injury. So hopefully it's something minor. More so hey, we tweaked this, we're ramping up too quick, just going to shut it down for the night, and hopefully we get him here in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, moving on from the Bulls beating the Lakers in the return of the Chicago Bulls after 8 days off after games were postponed. We still don't know when those games were moved to. Once we find out, we'll let you know. I don't think the NBA has figured it out yet, but the next game we have is actually tomorrow night, 12:20. It's the Bulls against the Houston Rockets at 7 p.m. at the United Center. The Rockets are 10-20, and if you go back to our podcast previewing the Rockets game before we played them down in Houston, they were 0-16.
I think they had one win.
I thought we were their first win of the season.
I think we were their second win.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. Like
okay,
90%.
Well, I would have to go. I'm gonna have to go look. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm lazy. But I know they didn't have a lot of wins.
0 or 1. They didn't have 2 wins. That's
right.
I can assure you.
Right, we know that. But yeah, so they're 10-20 now, man. They found a bit of a fucking rhythm down in Houston, and they are a chippy team. I've been watching some Houston Rockets basketball on NBA League Pass, and it's not a joke. They're fucking decent. They're playing well. They're playing with fire, and they're led by a big man in Christian Wood.
Yeah, no, that's interesting for a team that probably. I mean, I guess the East and the West are kind of evening out in terms of competition now. But out West, the Rockets probably aren't going to make the playoffs. So it's great to see them do that for themselves as, the Rockets and the teammates on the Rockets. But for a franchise that's rebuilding, like, what does that do to you? Like, you were probably about to trade Christian Wood. Can you trade him now without, like, demoralizing your team? Put you in an interesting spot. But
it really does.
But that situation isn't going to resolve itself by tomorrow night. So with that matchup in mind, we got to hope that the Bulls get some fucking revenge here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need too. They have a couple old friends over there, DJ Augustine, David Nawaba, and an interesting couple times this has happened to him. An interesting did not play coach's decision. Daniel Tice over there in Houston after getting quite a bag.
Can we get him back? Like,
yeah, it's wild, isn't it? He just sometimes does not fucking play. And I'm just like, why though? Why'd you give him the bag then? Like, I don't understand it. But
why that doesn't?
Yeah,
him. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. But fuck them. Let's try to come out tomorrow and get a dub. And they're coming off a back-to-back too. They beat Detroit today.
Every time either one of us swears, all I can think about is us being told no swearing at our podcast event that has been rescheduled to February 27th.
Yes, it has. Yep,
and that is also going to be Dynasty Night.
Also, you get a free jersey. In the house. Get a free jersey.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. I think we're gonna get the memo again that I cannot swear, so I have to do my best. So I'm just trying to. I'm getting it all out now.
We can be on our best behavior.
Yeah,
we know how fans are when they put their kids in bed. The Windy City Bulls and most sporting events are definitely more aimed at family-friendly outings, and we're capable of that too. We just know that sports fans also like to have a good time, and so do we.
I'm just gonna do my best. That's all I can promise, Fred. I'm just gonna do my best. All right, we'll take the one question. Well, we have a few questions. We're gonna take one before we ride out here. Is as we approach the halfway point, do the Bulls make a deal, and for whom? That's from our dude Yump. Listen, man, I wrote an article on this over on Tap. Burke actually wrote one as well. I think Burke touched on Rocco, which is Robert Covington, and a little bit of Sabonis. And I think he just did the Sabonis one because it looked like Sabonis was the most likely to be moved. I did one on Jeremy Grant. I'm sorry, we had Jeremy Grant from Detroit. That's who I want to see, either him or Harrison Barnes. I do believe that the Bulls are going to do something. I don't know what that is yet, obviously, but they have been rumored to be in the hunt for somebody to make their team better as they get into the playoffs, to make a real run at a championship, which is just fucking wild to think that they can actually do it with another really effective piece. So, yeah, I think our front office is definitely aggressive as hell, and I think they're going to do something. As for what, I don't know. All I can go back and remember is in 2010, 2011, when the Bulls were making their run, and the trade deadline came. We were talking OJ Mayo. I remember they were trying to get him from Memphis.
OJ Mayo, what a name.
They were, though. They're trying to get him from Memphis. There was a big that was on the radar that I'm blanking on right now. But we ended up with Rasul Butler that year. Rasul Butler at the trade deadline. Yeah, this front office isn't
coming out of left field. We're signing OJ Mayo.
Or Tyreek Evans. I heard he's trying to make his comeback too.
Hey, that one would be less of a joke. I mean, that one's interesting, but I don't think we really need to guard. As we're seeing, it's tough for Kobe to kind of find his niche right now from what he used to be.
I think he'll be in the trade package.
Yeah, more than likely. And like you said, it's not really a matter of if, it's just a matter of who. And it's kind of going to be, do they want to go all out? They do technically have 2 firsts. Portland's kind of in that no man's land. Do you trade that protected first that you got in the Lowry deal before you find out what it is and just say, see you later? Thanks for being an asset, and pick something up with it, because the Bulls do have a kind of a small window here. And it is interesting that it came this quick, and it will go that quick because Vooch and DeMar are coming of age. So we'll see. I mean, the Bulls are definitely going to take a swing. I just don't know how big of a swing they can take without sending Pat, which is something I don't think they want to do, because you're not going to get fair value while he's injured either.
I don't give a shit. You give me Harrison Barnes or Jeremy Grant, dude, I'll be happy as a motherfucker.
Jeremy Grant, I think I'd be more satisfied with, just because I think Harrison Barnes, although he's the more established player, is a little too established for me.
Okay.
Jeremy Grant's something you can kind of hold on to post Vooch.
Oh yeah, no, I think he'd be a good long-term fit possibly. And
Jeremy Grant's kind of what you hope Pat Williams becomes. So if you're trading Pat Williams for that to escalate that timetable for what you know instead of what you hope to be, send it.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that, man. You got anything else before we ride out here in the sunset?
No, I mean, we got 3 games in 4 nights, or
Yeah.
3 more games here in the next 3 nights. So that's good stuff. Or
Yeah,
2 more.
absolutely.
Wow, now I'm getting myself confused. 2 games, 3 nights.
There you go. 2 games, 3 nights. Got it. We've made it happen. Everybody, be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at BullsOnTap, at OnTapSportsNet. Following Goose at BullsScripted, me at BuzzOnTap. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. We'll be back tomorrow after the Bulls take on the Houston Rockets at the United Center. Let's go, Bulls.